Thanks for staying with us here on Straight Talk. I'm Sara Macintyre, filling in for Pat Boland. Well, of course, the hostage situations, two of those situations in Paris have concluded. Both hostage takers have been shot and killed. That includes the Kouachi brothers responsible for the massacre at Charlie Hebdo, as well as the individual that was holding the hostages at the kosher grocery store in eastern Paris, and that was Ahmed Koulibaly. And we're going to continue our discussion on all things related to terrorism here at home in Canada. Jonathan Halevi joins me in studio. Thanks, Jonathan. You're with the Jerusalem Center for Public Affairs. And I wanted to read you a quote from the Prime Minister's news conference that he held yesterday. The Prime Minister said, "The international jihadist movement has declared war. They have declared war on anybody who does not think and act exactly as they wish they would act and think." So pretty strong, pretty blunt words. What did you think about the Prime Minister's comments yesterday?
I think he's very brave, very bold in his attitude, and he says very clearly, this is international jihadist movement, which means Canada and the free world are facing world war against radical Islamists. The war is not confined to the Middle East, not confined to Syria and Iraq. This is a global war, not because we want it, because they define the war as a global war against our values. If you see watch the pictures that the map, the global map of ISIS and other groups, and even, by the way, the Muslim Brotherhood, I'm going to refer to it in a minute, all painted with black.
Right.
The goal is to liberate Europe, to liberate the two Americas. And one of the Canadians, jihadists in Syria, he said, we are not going to stop the fighting against you till the black flag will be raised on the White House in Washington, D.C. This is the message, and I think that Prime Minister Harper exactly said, it described the situation as it is, and we see, unfortunately, the expression of it around the globe. And one more thing about the Muslim Brotherhood in this case, and I think that Prime Minister Harper, when he said international jihadist movement, he also wanted to imply that the Muslim Brotherhood also connected to this threat. The ideology of the Muslim Brotherhood, based on the writings of Hassan al-Banna and Sayyid Qutb, and from the last century, are also the same as those of ISIS, which means liberating Europe and conquering Rome and breaking the cross.
Liberating from those evil Christian values, basically, right, and putting them underneath the ISIS flag. So, you know, I don't want our viewers at home thinking that that they actually think that that they are really willing to liberate Europe. But I did want to ask you about. There's reports now that there was a propaganda video that was released where there was a Canadian, a Toronto guy who believed to have left Canada in 2009 at the age of 25. He was a York University student, Mahad Ali Dahori, who is believed to have been killed in Mogadishu, attacking the Somali Supreme Court with his Al-Shabaab brethren. So, you know, we're not immune to it here in Canada, and it's not limited to Al-Qaeda, and it's not limited to ISIS. And what can Canadian security agencies do in terms of monitoring the levels of threat here? Because the last we heard from our security agencies was last year that there was this terrorist watch list of 93 individuals, but we don't know where those individuals are. Have they been picked up? Are they interrogated? What our threat level here is in Canada? We seem to really lack that information sharing that I think other countries, including the UK and France, are better at informing their citizens.
I think that dealing with terrorism you have to deal with two levels. Of course, to deal with the terrorists, those who have guns, those who are willing to commit terrorist attacks in Canadian soil or outside of Canada, it doesn't matter. And to deal with the infrastructure, with the network, with the ideology. That is crucial, and to do it, you need very strong intelligence, and you need more power, more power to the intelligence agencies in order to monitor, in order to watch the messages between them and others inside Canada and with others outside of Canada. That should be part of the solution. And I think that the courts also should be taking more firm stand against terrorism, against incitement to terrorism. In my own research, I just found very recently some family members from Alberta all of them, all the four, identify themselves with the ideology of ISIS. One of them is also showed interest in automatic guns.
And this is in Canada?
This is in Canada.
Unbelievable. And you know, we're going to have to leave it there, Jonathan, but I don't think that the public is really aware of the actual extent of radicalization that happens and is happening in Canada. And it is a balance between Big Brother and surveillance and rooting out terrorism preventively. So thank you so much for joining me in the studio. We had to be a bit short today, so we'll have you back soon. Of course, this discussion will continue all through 2015.